Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths, narcissists involved in your life can get so integrated into your world that they instill a sense of fear in regards to consequences. Like, some people call this walking on eggshells, but they have you orientating yourself in life, fearing a consequence, fearing for you to put a foot wrong. And this doesn't just have to be with romantic relationships. It can be with friendships, family members, colleagues, or associates. They basically get so integrated in your world that they make you fear putting a foot wrong. Like, you don't want to upset them. And empaths and chosen ones don't like to upset people, but there's an unnatural way about this narcissist goes about doing this. A lot of the times, you know, you could have met them for a friend of a friend, and before you know it, you're like their main friend, for example. And, you know, they start by showing you the repercussions of what could happen, the consequences of your actions, how there'll be consequences if you put a foot wrong, you know. And they may have isolated you as well during this process. They'd have isolated you. You don't really have any nearest. You might have a few people nearest and dearest, but they tend to isolate you away from the pack, so they can have more control over your, all aspects of your life. And I just want you to know, like, you don't need to fear those consequences. You know, it's bullying. In layman's terms, the way I can put it is it's bullying. They're literally bullying you, making you feel that fear of a consequence. You know, it's a real dark type of manipulation where they're instilling fear into you about certain repercussions or certain consequences that might happen if you go a certain route. But you know, it's a free world. You deserve to do what you want to do in this life. Whatever you want to do in this life, you deserve to do what you want to do. And you shouldn't be living in accordance with what someone else's view of the way you should lead your life should be, you know. You shouldn't be living your life in the confines of a narcissist's manipulation, you know, manipulating you, making you feel like there's a certain consequence or a certain ramification that might be at play if you do something or the other, you know. Narcissists that are involved in your life are so weird, you know. There could be a particular... Let me just bring up an example so maybe it can clear it up a bit. Like, there could be a friend that you've got that this narcissist involved in your life doesn't like to see you hang out with, right? But you like that friend. That friend's a true friend. They're authentic. They're genuine. They're kind. And when you're with that friend and it's just you and that friend, you know, you feel at peace. But when the narcissist is around, you feel uneasy. And the narcissist, for example, doesn't want you hanging around with that friend, right? It's just an example I'm trying to put out there. And they'll instill fear into you about consequences if you go around that person, for example. Or it could be anything, you see, the way they instill fear. It can be absolutely anything. Please press the like and subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But if you have a sense of fear in you, you know, about a consequence, you know, if you step this way or you step that way or you do this or you do that, there's going to be some consequences from the narcissist. This isn't a healthy life that you should be living, you know. This is really messed up. And you need to understand it's not the way the paradox should be, you know. You shouldn't be held in these confines, held in these chains, constantly worrying about putting a foot wrong, because they're nobodies, you know? They're nobodies. They need you more than you need them. And the quicker you realize that they need you more than you need them, and the quicker that you can make an exit and get away from them, you know? Some of you might be looking back in retrospect and remembering what the narcissist used to do to you. Some of you might still be involved in the situation. I can't really tell. But all I'm saying is, if you have a degree of fear, like, about doing things, you know, for example, this is another incident. You could want to go out with a friend and do something. I don't know. Go to the cinema, go to a restaurant, go to a bar, whatever it is. And this particular narcissist friend makes you feel like you have to bring them along, you know? But there's nothing written in stone that says you need to bring this person along. But the way they manipulate you, it's like you can't do anything without them. That's basically where they get you. They get you in that position where you feel like you can't do anything without them. You feel guilty about not bringing them along, you know, and they play on the victim card. You know, they're really messed up. And that's why I did say in the earlier segment, it doesn't just have to be romantic relationships, because this can happen in friendships. And it's a lot more covert when it happens to a friendship or a family member or a colleague or an associate. It's less in your face, right? And you don't really realize what's happening, right? But it could also happen in romantic relationships as well, you know. But they instill a sense of fear in you about you putting a foot wrong. And I want you to break free from that. You really need to break free from that spell you're under, you know. You can step where you want to. You can do what you want to do. You don't need to live in accordance to a narcissist's dynamic that's involved in your life. You don't need to live in accordance to that. You really, really don't. So what you should do is reach out to someone you can depend on. Reach out to someone you can trust. Inform them about the way you feel in this situation. If you feel trapped, if you feel there's no escape, inform them. You know, the narcissist wants you to be silent, silently abused. They don't want you to talk to no one about it. I know it might feel uneasy talking about the actual situation to someone. It might feel really tough. You might not even have someone that you can phone, but there's hotlines, there's things you can call to get some advice. You need to speak to another human being, and they'll make it clear to you that this is not healthy. Because I don't know the ins and outs of exactly what's happening in your situation, but that's why I just called the video "Narcissists Instill Fear of Consequences in You." And if you're in fear of a certain consequence or a certain ramification happening to you, if you put a foot wrong, you need to understand that you need to get to a place of safety. You need to get to a place away from them. You need to phase it out with them. You really need to detach. You need to get rid of them, right? And the fact of the matter is, whether you do it or it's going to be God that does it or the universe that does it, something's going to happen along the way that causes an argument or causes something. And you can use that as your fuel to get out of the entrapment by this narcissist involved in your life. You can use the argument. You can use the disagreement as a way to get out, right? That's just an example that you could use, right? But you need to find someone who you can confide in, someone who you're comfortable around. And they'll make it clear to you as plain as day that it's not normal for you to be feeling this way, right? None of you should be feeling in fear of consequences, right? Whether it's mental abuse, physical abuse, none of you should be fearing any sort of abuse from the narcissist involved in your life because of a certain action that you do, right? None of you should be feeling that way, and you need to break from this, right? You can't live lifelong like this, right? This narcissist that's involved in your life, you know, they'll stay around you for ages. You know what I'm saying? You need to make the move. You need to cut them off, right? You're in every right to cut someone off. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even need to give no explanations, right? but you've probably been through your fair share of abuse, right? You've probably been through your fair share of abuse, and it's in your right to break free from this paradox that you're in, from these dynamics that you're in. It's in your right to do that, right? So don't let this narcissist instill fear in you, you know? Like, they stick around you. They're weirdos. They're just weirdos. You know what I'm saying? They stick around you. They don't go away. They don't give you breathing space. They're purposely doing all of these things to entrap you. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing. Don't think that they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing to you. They know they're being an abrasive force in your life. Abrasive? That's the wrong word. They're being an abruptive force in your life. They know they're being, you know, they're entrapping you. They know what they're doing to you. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing to you. So it's up to you to find someone you can confide in and figure out a way out. You know what I'm saying? Figure a way out. Just figure a way out. You need to get out quicker. As soon as possible, you need to get out of those dynamics. And if you are already out of it and you're looking back in retrospect, then you need to thank God or the universe that you actually broke free from those constraints that they tried to keep you in. You know, this could have gone on for a number of years. You know, it's bullying. It's as simple as I can put it. Is bullying. They're bullying you around, trying to control you, and it's really messed up. You know what I'm saying? They're bullies. They're nothing more than bullies, right? And when you do get to the place when they're no longer in your everyday life, you don't have to communicate with them, you don't have to speak to them, you're going to feel free. You may feel a sense of fear, you may still feel a bit of PTSD, a bit of anxiety, you may still fear if they're going to pop back up or something like that. You may still feel that to some degree. But ultimately, when you break free, it's going to be a new lease of life for you. And that's what I want to have. I want you to have that. I don't want you to be stuck in the paradox of a narcissist involved in your life, controlling what you're doing, controlling who you speak to, controlling where you go, controlling what you do. You know what I'm saying? So find someone. If you've got someone you can confide in, it's fortunate. If you haven't got anyone around, right, then phone a number, phone a hotline, phone an advice center, phone something, you know what I'm saying? Or take what I've said in this video to make your exit, make your clean-cut exit, right? A lot of these narcissists involved in your life will affiliate with you through drugs or alcohol or stuff of that nature. They'll make a bond that's built on, I probably should have said this earlier, but they may make a bond that's built on alcohol or drugs or something like that. Break free from that. This might be a chance for you to like go on the clean path now, straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no distractions. A lot of them do that. Maybe not in your circumstance, but I just thought I'd put it out there. You know, they do make things that you have a bond over. But reach out to someone. Even if you haven't spoken to old friend in a long time or a family member in a long time, I'm sure they'll be really willing to help you once they find out about the entrapment that you're in. I'm sure they will, and it will feel liberating to actually express freely about your situation. It will feel good to express how you actually feel. You don't need to keep it hidden from the world. You know, you don't need to be abused in silence. You know, if any of you feel that fear of a consequence, you know, just break free from it. Speak to someone. Tell them the truth. It might be hard. You might have cut friends off. You might have isolated yourself. They may have isolated you from friends or family members. Speak the truth. Speak the truth. It's powerful. Tell someone. Inform someone about your situation. And then plan your exit. Plan your escape. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. If you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got a secondary channel, spiritual channel. Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting ZionMembership.com. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.